You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and you'll never believe who is sitting across from me right now. The man, the myth. No, I feel like that's something Chris Harrison would say. Wouldn't he say that? The man, the myth, the legend, Ben Higgins.
The Mount Rushmore of Bachelors.
Yeah, yeah, you are like wait, who'd be on your Mount Rushmore of Bachelorettes and Bachelors?
Bachelorettes is easy for me. It'd be you and JoJo and Hannah Brown. I think you would also have to go back to like the Tristas.
Yep.
I think you were
Emily
like 5.
Maynard.
Yeah, I think that would be like the 5 there for me.
Yeah.
Becca Kufrin would come close, but she just didn't have the cast.
I love her.
The Bachelors, like I think Joey, like secretly, I mean not secretly, very like publicly, but like wildly snuck his way in late in the game.
Totally.
Like we had a big like lull there.
Yeah. He came in and gave America their comfort food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were like, this is the guy.
This is the guy.
I think Womack is 100% like up there with the Sean Lowe's.
Sean Lowe for sure.
I actually loved Chris Soules on
Did
this
you?
season. I thought he was like awkwardly awesome.
Yeah.
And knowing Chris now, I'm like, you were so much of yourself.
Totally. I
Yeah.
would agree with that. Well, we've got one of the Rushmores here, Ben Higgins. We discover a lot in this podcast. You guys are in for a wild ride on this one because I don't know. We uncovered a lot and unlocked a lot of crazy memories. So enjoy this podcast with Ben Higgins.
My socks, I mean, like these ripped at the airport.
Wait,
That's
can-
aggressive.
When you're,
Oh my gosh.
That's aggressive.
even when your leg is up, we can't see you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but can we start with that?
Yeah, you can start with whatever you want.
I want to
Kaitlyn.
start with the fact that you have holy socks on. I feel like that just happened.
In the airport today.
Okay.
I need new ones.
Let's get you some new socks.
That'd be amazing. My Amazon delivery hasn't happened yet, but I do get. I got really self-conscious, and so
About what? Your feet?
my socks. I've been wearing these really nice white tube socks
Yeah.
because I work from home and I
Yeah.
go on walks and they're very comfy.
Are they
And
like
they're-
compression?
Oh no, they're very old man like white
dad
tube socks.
vibes, yeah.
And so when I was like coming here today, I was like, oh, I'll put my good socks on, and then I'm walking through the airport and it ripped. And I was like, well, this is really backfiring.
Wait, how cute you put on your good socks.
I put on my
for
good socks for you.
today.
Yeah, I
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet. I also feel like I've done your podcast so many times, and I'm like, when's the last time you've done mine?
It's been so long, Kaitlyn.
It's been so long.
It's been a really long time. So I'm happy to be here. It's an honor to be asked.
You little angel
Yeah,
pie.
it's
I've
exciting.
like, for people like tuning in, they'll see or they'll know this. I've been like singing your praises for the last 10 episodes, just like rewatching, just being like, he really is perfect. Like he really is that person that everybody sees. I know that's a sensitive subject because you had this pressure going
Yeah.
into being the Bachelor as the perfect Ben, and it was this whole thing. And when I say perfect, I don't mean perfect. I mean you are flawed and you have stuff. We all do, but
That's
like
fair.
you to your core as a human being is like really something rare that people come across.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean it.
I do appreciate that. I think it could have gone one of two directions during your time though, because I was so nervous and so quiet.
Yeah.
That I could have just gotten, forgotten and pushed aside.
Yeah.
And I think
Lost in the shuffle of all the good looking men.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, goodness, look at that group.
It's
Studs.
insane.
But fortunately for me, I was able to stick around long enough, and
Yeah.
I was just so curious about this experience.
Yeah.
And I was thinking through coming here today, and I mean, we can kick it off with this. I think you also cultivated a very healthy environment for all of us to be our true
Really?
selves. Yeah, maybe not the first couple weeks, 'cause I think it's impossible. It's so much chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
But then once we got into it, I think you really like allowed people to have fun and open up and to be their true selves. And that's not easy to do when you're the lead of the show.
Yeah.
I think it's why you go down as such like a legendary, iconic lead.
I don't know if that's why, but
But
maybe in your mind.
I think in my mind, then
Yeah, that's-
I'll keep
that's
that
all that matters
true
for
to
me.
me. But yeah, I mean, it was a special experience. But I was also so much of a wallflower and so much of an observer that I didn't get too much in the mix of too
Yeah.
much of the drama.
But still, like, I think It's so crazy seeing everybody's different like role, if you will, on the show because, you know, Ryan McDill's going to be the drunk guy. Sean's the jealous one. Nick's the sexual one. Like Jared's the little like funny, gets my sense of humor. You're like the sweet romantic, like, but also can be outgoing and funny one. Like everybody had a different role.
Yeah.
Which I was just talking about this with Cupcake is like how brilliant casting is for who the lead is. Like I felt that way that I could be myself because of the men that were in front of me. Did you feel that as the Bachelor? Like, were you like, oh my gosh, they picked these women for me. These are so my type? Or like, how did that feel for you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think as you get further along, I started to see, oh my goodness, there's so many people here that are my type.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think early on when you walk in on night one, you're like, why in the world did any of you actually want to come here for me?
Yeah.
And then once you start to get to know them, you're like, no, I can see a lot of this working.
Yeah.
I think it was the brilliance of casting back then. I think the show today, I would argue, doesn't cast as well.
Do they just willy-nilly it?
Yeah.
Like come on, let's go.
It feels like back then, though, they had a lot more applicants.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
true.
like they're have to be a little more picky today.
Yeah.
But back then, yes, I really do believe that. And I think with your season specifically, there was so many unique characters.
The story really turned into the Nick-Sean relationship.
Sure.
It really turned into that. And watching it back, it's even more obvious than I even remember. Like I was like, oh my God, this is like the whole storyline. It took away from so much, but I mean, obviously a good dramatic TV, but it took away from so much. And I actually was proud of myself because I kept saying that in like the ITMs. I'd be like, the drama of those two just paying so much attention to each other is really taking away from like how I feel about both of them.
Yeah.
Like I was like, ew, you guys. Anyways, we'll get there. I want to start even before that. I don't think I know how you even got to be on the show.
I was working in Denver, my first job out of college, and
Yeah.
I was in software sales. I was actually not in sales at this point. I was
That was your title.
Yeah, it was a promotion that my company ended up putting me into after the show because they're like, yeah, might as well throw them in the sales.
Yeah.
I was a business analyst. And so I was testing back office software. And that's where I'll stop because everybody listening will be like, that's the most boring thing I've ever heard. But it's what it sounds like. So I was writing user manuals for software systems in the basement of a company. And I wasn't good at it. And it was a lot of computer time and it was a lot of like test scripts. No, not at all. But it was a job and I needed a job.
Yeah.
One day, I'll never forget it. Faye is her name. She was this chief marketing officer at this company. She comes downstairs. She said, I love this show. And they're doing a casting call. I don't know if they still do these, but they used to do casting calls in cities where people would show up live to them.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're doing this casting call in Denver for the Bachelorette. If I buy you lunch, would you go to it? And I was like, I'm not going to a casting call. Like, I'm not showing up and like being like, hey, I'm single and wanting to go on the show. I don't want.
I was like, pick me.
Yeah, I don't want any of my friends to see me there. She goes, okay, there's another way. If we go upstairs, would you sit with me and sign you up? And I said, I would 100% sit with you and sign myself up online.
Yeah.
And she said this. We went upstairs. She goes, Ben, I want to be honest with you. You're 25 years old. You're single. You have no friends in Denver because I moved from Indiana to Denver. I had no friends. She's like, you work all the time because you're not great at your job. So you have to put in double the amount of hours than everybody else. And you just work and go home and probably like drink 2 martinis and go to sleep. This is a really bad path for you. You need to mix it up a little bit. And I always have had this desire personally where like I wanted to create a story. Or I've always had this like deep desire where I want my friends to be interested in me.
Yeah.
Or people to be intrigued by me. Mm-hmm. And so this felt like it fell right in line. Like, oh my gosh, I could go on this show that people would want to ask me about. And I could have a story to tell them because right now, that current season of life, I had no story to tell people.
Right.
And so we signed up and it was a week later. And I'll just like go through it a little bit more because the wild part is a week later they call.
They did a week?
A week. And they said, hey, we want to do like a Skype or like the video call with you.
Yeah.
They do that. And then I end up blowing out my knee. I don't know if you remember this from back then. I blew out my knee in a pickup basketball game. And so I had to go to LA for like the in-person casting calls on crutches because I had surgery 3 days before.
Yeah.
And so I got out of surgery, got on a plane, which is not recommended to do by anybody.
No.
And I show up to the casting on crutches, which I think really sold it because they're like, this poor guy wants this so bad. Like he wants to be interesting
He
so
risked
much.
his knee blowing up on a plane and walks in crutches. Aw.
And so I did that. And then, but really the reason was I was like the perfect candidate, meaning I was single. I had a job I didn't love. I didn't have any friends. I needed to mix life up a bit. And this show was like the perfect thing for me to do that with.
And I remember talking to you maybe about like we talked about previous relationships. Were you like fresh out of a relationship? I can't remember.
It's pretty fresh from my girlfriend in college.
Yeah.
We had ended it kind of probably about a year before.
She hurt you.
She hurt me. She
know,
hurt me so bad. I think I called her a monster on the show. And
Did you?
Yes. And like the bad part about this is she is the opposite of that. Like we just texted last night because she just had a kid.
Oh,
and she's like,
I love a full circle moment.
Yeah. And I like the reason I was so mad at her is because I was like, you were supposed to be the one.
Yeah.
You ended this. You're going to want me back.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like holding on to all this resentment. And so I was like so angry.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time I was talking
You sound
about
like Kaitlyn.
Yeah. See, we had a lot more in common than you think.
Yeah.
But now, she's like never been that. She's like the best. And, but yes, she hurt me. I will say that.
I remember.
And I was still like a hurt puppy coming on into the show, really wanting to be fixed.
That was kind of me going on Bachelor. Like, thank God I didn't go on Juan Pablo's season, which I did audition for, because I would not have been ready, but I was still a hurt puppy going into Chris Soule's season. But I feel like that whole experience kind of like heals that part of you too, because it like cracks you open. You learn so much about yourself. It's like therapy every day. I always say that. And you learn like maybe what you could have done better in a relationship or what you're looking for next. Like it really just, I don't know. I feel like it takes you to another level of like healing from a previous relationship. It did for me.
Definitely. I mean, you talk about yourself more than you've ever talked about yourself before, at least in my experience. And there's no room for being a listener because you're there to be the communicator and to be the one sharing all of your emotions, all your feelings, all your doubts, all your hurts. For me, it was 100% that. I walked into night one, and I think everybody would say this, you're nervous. I think that's like a given.
Yeah.
You don't know that everybody else is nervous though. So you feel like you're the only person that's really like freaking out. But for me, it was like deep insecurities. Like, I don't belong here. How in the world am I sitting in a limo with former professional athletes and gym owners who have biceps bigger than anything I've ever seen? And, the cupcakes of the world who are like perfectly handsome and a doctor. Yeah. And so you sit there and like you have these deep insecurities and you don't really know why. But the show was what like helped me process through all that to admit like, I don't feel like I belong. I feel unlikable. I feel like I have to work really hard to be likable.
Which is so crazy.
It's so wild, but it's the first time I'd ever admitted it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the show did that for me. And once I said I feel unlovable, all of a sudden I had this relatability to the masses and to myself that I never had before. Which
is so, because people don't tune in. I mean, they tune in obviously to see like the biceps and everything like that. But people want to relate to, I think that's why they like that show so much, is because they see themselves, everyone sees themselves in someone on that show. And not many people will talk about their insecurities like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to. Like, this was not the platform I would have chosen to do it on. But I think over time, when you're in it long enough, you're like, I'm either going to start to talk and start to understand myself better, or I'm going to waste this opportunity because I have a lot of people asking me questions. I don't know if they really care about me or not. Yeah. But they're asking me a lot of questions, and questions that matter. And questions that matter. I can start answering them honestly. Yeah. And just seeing where it takes me. Yeah. As scary as that is. Yeah. So yes, I think you're right. Where it is therapy and it was healing. Yeah. And I think I left that show for multiple reasons, being a better version of myself or a more confident version of myself. Yeah. Because of just so much time, how much time I spent on myself during that.
I was the opposite.
Tell me more. I want to hear everything.
I went in on Chris Soule's season, the cockiest I've ever been in my whole life. Okay. I walked in thinking like, these little bitches are all going home. Like, I thought I'm blowing this up a little bit. I was the most confident I had ever been in my life. I knew I belonged there. I thought I was supposed to be there. I was like, I am such a catch. I have so many different sides of me that the whole world's going to see. Really, they just saw this one like crazy lady who said inappropriate things all the time. But I didn't understand how TV worked. But I was the most confident, and I came out of it like so wildly insecure.
It's interesting. I mean, I would have 1,000 questions. This is not my podcast.
You can ask me anything.
knowing
Spade
you,
and is flowing.
yeah, knowing you, your ability to know yourself always just seemed really high to me. And so it would be interesting if that was a real confidence that you had going into it, or if you were trying to cover something up and that the true, like, Kaitlyn ended up showing up at the end because you had, like, masked it with this, like,
Yes.
I'm the best, I belong here thought, because I've never known you to act that way.
So you're so right. It was definitely a mask, but I didn't know it.
Okay.
Because I went through this really hard thing in my life. I had done therapy for the first time. I'd really worked on myself for the first time in my life before going on the show. So I went in, first of all, I really did think I belonged there because I always thought I was supposed to be on TV.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, here we go. I didn't think it would be this big of a network, but okay. And then I think I tried so hard to keep up that facade.
Yeah.
Of like, I've got this, I'm so tough, and I'm confident. But I really do think I went in that way because I had never worked on myself before. I'd always been like relying on other people, my family to take care of me, my boyfriends to take care of me. Like I had finally worked on myself for the first time ever. So going in, I was feeling like I'm where I'm supposed to be. But then it was keeping up with that felt like it was a facade.
You always have had a level of like intimidation though too. You've kind of like given off this aura, even when as the Bachelorette. I know over time, like as I got to know you better, there was like a softer side I was able to see and like a more like relatable side I was able to see. But I think initially too, you are this like big personality who is really confident and very comfortable in very awkward moments. And you, like not everybody has that, like very few have that ability, this especially do it on a show like The Bachelor or Bachelorette. And so I mean, I feel like over time though, like that softer, like we can sit and have a conversation side came out.
Yeah. Did you rewatch?
I have not rewatched.
Okay,
no.
good. Because I did, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope he's like, I almost text you being like, you're at such a different place, and you're like, please don't watch this. But it was so sweet because I was like, oh my gosh, we were so cute in like in what you're saying. Like we got to a place of just like you made me feel like a softer version of myself that could be where with Sean and Nick, I was just trying to like handle them so that I felt like you were the one that brought out my softer side all the time, which was really nice for me. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Jess was asking me about this season. She said she would never watch The Bachelor with me on it. But she's like, I think I could watch Kaitlyn's season and be okay. And I said, I think there's parts that you would really enjoy seeing. Yeah. And that you'd probably be able to laugh at some point, you know, in life, whenever you're in that kind of mood. But she was like, what was that like? Tell me about you and Kaitlyn in that experience. And I was like, you know, I think if I was to explain anything, one was the Sean and Nick drama was so passionate and so fierce and so loud that I think I was lucky enough to kind of come in behind that and be like, hey, but we can hang out.
Yeah.
And like you don't, none of this exists here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like space, hopefully a safe space.
It was.
And hopefully it was like a more like real space. Yeah. Like that was always my hope because like I wasn't mixed up in that. And I very easily could have been. I'm not saying that was a choice I made. I just wasn't ever invited into that chaos. I was very much separated from it, I think on purpose by the show. And so I think when I look back, it was such a safe place when you like, hopefully, at least for me, I always remember going to bed when we had a date the next day being like, okay, if I can do nothing else, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to entertain Kaitlyn because Kaitlyn I can't keep up with her. I don't think I'm going to be able to rise to the passions of everybody else that's on the show because they're so passionate right now. Right. Yeah. But the one thing I can offer that I'm hoping is like she can take a deep breath with me. Yeah. Like that she can just be there in the moment. And that will be enough if I get sent home tomorrow for me to feel like, hey, we did something good here. Like I gave a safe space. That is exactly. And watching back. So I beat a dead horse every time I interview one of the guys that from the show because I say, I thought this was going to be so fun to rewatch 10 years later. I thought it was going to be like, look how much we've grown. Look how fun this was. Sure. And I'm like, oh shit, it was I knew it was intense, but it's way more real and intense than I even remember. Like I'm watching back, even with Jared, I'm like, shit, I really felt for him and like watching, and then I'm like watching us and I'm like, oh my God, like
that's my friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird watching, and it's so much harder than I thought it would be because we were saying, like, it's almost like you bottle all of it up and then you're unbottling it and watching it and you're like, holy fuck, I blacked out a lot of this.
Yeah.
But that is you were the most consistent person to me in that house. But I honestly almost text you because I'm like, again, I thought this would be like this funny thing rewatching, but I'm like, I also want to respect people's like significant other
Sure.
and like families. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to like, but everyone, and I said this, I'm like, everyone's picked these women who are like, yeah, go do it. Or like, I think I'd be okay with Kaitlyn's. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that, it says a lot about your partner as well, because she is, I say it through like every rewatch. I'm like, and now we found Jess and she's so perfect and Winnie's so perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's actually crazy though to don't watch back is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is so intense.
And I'd forget a lot of it too.
Yeah.
So I think I would watch it and at times be shocked. Like in my mind right now, I'm like, Jess could watch this and probably never feel uncomfortable. And then we would get into it and she'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, this is going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
No matter how much confidence you have.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Like,
yeah.
I think there is a level of intimacy that like probably is not healthy for a spouse to watch because it's not really an option ever for any married couple. Is like, oh, I want to go back and watch you date somebody.
Right. Yeah. And that's torture no matter what. Like, it's torture for me. I'm dating and I'm like, it's even uncomfortable. I'm like, because then I'm finding myself crying or being like, oh God, that moment was so, and I'm like, wait, is this bad?
Yeah. No.
Because I'm like, it's been a decade. You would think 10 years would pass and you'd almost be like, this is funny and it's emotional.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm sure there's funny moments and the emotional moments like far outweigh. It's kind of like Instagram where you can get 1,000 nice comments and the one bad one that hits just right. And that's what sticks out to you.
That is exactly what this is.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Because like there's a lot of funny moments too. And like a lot of the memories like I have are so good and healthy and fun.
That's why I thought watching back would be good because same.
But there's like, yes, but then there's going to be those moments, especially towards the end, that like really wrecked you. And then, obviously hurt us because like we were involved in some way or another. And those are going to stand out because those are hard to see. They changed you.
When I brought Nick back, I'm like, you idiot. I'm like yelling at myself on the TV screen.
Do you regret it now? Yeah. Like, is that something you wish you wouldn't have done?
Yes and no, because I really do think I did obviously have a connection with him. Like that was very obvious. And I kind of played it off when I went on to The Bachelorette because I was like, that's gone, like out of sight, out of mind. But when he came back, I'm like, if I would have said no, I would have been thinking about him still. So I don't regret it because I had to be selfish in that moment. I hated watching it back because I was like, man, I put these guys through hell. So when you said earlier that I made you guys feel comfortable and safe to be, I was like, really? Because I watched back feeling like the biggest asshole bringing him back on. I felt like such a dick.
Yeah. I mean, I think you had to do what was best for you.
Yeah.
And like,
but you might not have been the Bachelor if I didn't bring him back.
That's true. So thank you.
Sorry, I keep interrupting
for the
you.
decisions.
Yeah.
But I think everybody in that room felt one of two ways. They were either just mad or they were like, wait, she brings somebody else in because nobody in this room is enough for her. So it was sending a message that brought on like some issues. It really put Nick in a space where he couldn't win.
Totally. I actually felt bad for him watching.
Yeah. I mean, he was like very much sitting on the outside and never going to be invited into the group, which was a very like difficult place for him to be sitting in. But ultimately too, I think it was shown as a bigger deal than it actually was. It was a really big deal that night. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a big deal weeks following.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was a really big deal towards the end because, I think Sean held on to this like, you and I are meant to be, Kaitlyn. You and I know we're meant to be.
Yeah.
This is a very clear path and you want to bring somebody else in, meaning like you're open to other people.
Right.
And I think that really got him more than it got anybody else.
Totally. And watching it back, I'm like, I thought it was so obvious that it was Sean through watching or from experiencing it and from rewatching 10 years ago. But watching it back, I was like, dude, I was in love with like 4 people. Like there was 4 people where I was like, the way I looked at my final 4 guys, I'm like, Kaitlyn. Like I was.
Yeah, you just wanted me to say it the next season to be the one that finally admits to it.
Yeah.
But you were feeling it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Haha.
Yeah.
But I actually said, didn't you say I'm falling in love with you? And I said, I'm falling in love with you too.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oops. And I was like, oops, I don't think I'm allowed to say that. And then I thought they were going to edit it out, but they didn't.
It was the night that I had like sat with Alon for 3 hours and admitted I felt unlovable. And so I told you that.
Yes.
But you thought I was going to tell you that I was a virgin.
Yes.
Yeah. And so
I was
had
like waiting.
So that was a great like come out moment for me on national television when you're like, are you a virgin? I had to be like, oh, no, sorry, everybody watching. Admitting this now.
Oh my God. I was like so set on that's what you were going to tell me. And I should have let you have that moment. I'm glad I bring
virgin vibes. Like that's such a good compliment to me is like you bring virgin vibes, Ben.
You do not bring virgin vibes. It was more of that. What if that was your moment to tell me that? And I was like, are you a virgin?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, yeah.
I just ruin it. That's like ruining a punchline of a joke, but 10 times worse. Like, why wouldn't I let you have that? But it's just 10 years is so much time. But like, how old are you now?
36.
36. Oh yeah, you were 26. Oh, you had your birthday on the show and you didn't tell me because you were worried about an age thing. That's what I was going to bring up. Why were you so worried about the age?
That I don't know. I mean, I don't think I was actually as worried as what I probably communicated. I think
rewatching, you were like, I don't know, we haven't talked about the age thing, and I was like, oh, you like an older woman? Like it was like 3 years difference.
Yeah, I don't think it was as big. Like it wasn't as big a deal as I think I like made it out to be.
Yeah.
I think I got in my own head about it though, because there was other like Jared and myself were the two youngest on the show.
Yeah.
I think we're the same age.
Yeah.
And I think he and I had probably spoken about it and been like, I wonder if she's okay with this. Does she even know it?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I have a birthday. So she's really going to know it.
It must
March
be coming
23rd.
Up. Oh, it was.
It was just.
Oh, right. You just happy birthday.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
I totally remember.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was in my calendar.
That's cool, Kaitlyn.
You didn't get my text?
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, I remember I was watching back and I was like, oh, funny. I don't remember the age talk about how that was something that worried you.
I don't remember it being a big deal.
I also remember we had like religious talks and they didn't show that. Like, because I think as a viewer, you're like, why are they not talking about politics and like financial things and like things that matter in a marriage? But it's like, even if you did, they're not going to show it.
They're not going to show it.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like we knew each other well.
Well, I feel like I got the most honest time with you.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that's because they were like, hey, Kaitlyn needs this moment.
Yes.
And I think it was like an intentionality to like have those moments because this was getting towards the end, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, we probably both were like, we have to start having like real conversations here.
That's true.
This can't just be fun and games all the time.
Yeah, wait a second. Will you accept this key to go, or are you going to forego your individual suite, or what's happening?
Are we going to talk about the fantasy suite? Because, okay, good. I think you know the text I got from the show afterwards on what happened, but I want to remind you if you haven't.
What? Wait, so we were in Ireland. We had the castle to ourselves. It was the same architect that did the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Beautiful
castle.
Beautiful. We tried to sneak out that night and then we got scared because the castle was like dark and scary.
Yeah.
But we were like, let's go explore the castle. And then we like got down a hallway and we were like, this is scary. No, what?
So they had given...
Why am I nervous?
Trust me, I'm married. We're not going too far here, Kaitlyn. There's boundaries.
Oh God, what are you going to say?
So, it was such a fun night because you have cameras around you all the time. I didn't know what the fantasy suites are going to be like, but then all of a sudden you have this little speaker, right, that you brought in so we could play music. First time I'd heard music in a long time.
Oh, which just changes everything.
And then they had an ice bucket with like a whiskey bottle in it. And it was like this beautiful metal tray with like this whiskey bottle. And we're just like, let's play music and dance and blast and drink a bunch of whiskey and have a blast.
Yes.
And that's what we did. And then like, we snuck out and all that stuff. So I had picked up this this metal tray and stuck it on a desk that was like next to the bed.
Yeah.
And we kind of just like let it there all night. And it had like sweated, like the water from the ice had sweat through condensation.
Yeah.
And it had ruined this desk. And it was like a 1500s leather desk that was like from like
How the hell were you supposed to know?
I had no idea. But the show had to pay for it. And it was like, I forget the exact number. It was above $50,000 is what this desk was worth. Yes, we ruined it. Like, ruined this desk.
Oh my gosh. Did you tell me this?
I don't know. I probably got the text like when you were, after the show, when you were off doing your thing. But I got a text from the show being like, hey, just to let you know, you cost us $50,000. I think it was actually more than 50,000. I don't want to say it, but it was like so much money. I remember being like, oh, it was this like ancient King Louis the whatever's desk that was sitting in that room, and we ruined it.
That room. Wait, that is wild.
Ruined it.
And they had to wait. How do you replace something like that?
You don't. You just pay them.
Oh,
yeah. You just pay them money and say, please don't be mad.
That's so crazy. Because I was just talking to Cupcake about like how they had the budget to get a second helicopter to follow my helicopter to film my helicopter going around, and made him take the bus. And I'm like, I wonder if something like that happens, if they're like, oh, or if they're like, oh, well, this is why we have.
Back then, I think they were fine.
Yeah, I think they were fine.
I think they were doing just fine.
But the sad thing is the memory of King Louis the 18th.
And I just like to know that like we were the reason this desk is no longer like operative.
All because of whiskey.
All because of whiskey.
It's funny because I do watch back and I'm like, I always drank whiskey. You were the one that always drank whiskey with me. Actually, no, Nick did too. But it's funny because I rewatch and I'm like, oh yeah, Ben was a whiskey drinker.
Big whiskey drinker.
Do you still drink whiskey?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you do.
Gives me as I've gotten older, it gives me more of a headache. So
yeah, that happens.
Yeah, more of a like it's a special occasion drink for me.
Yeah, you know what won't give you a headache?
What?
Low sugar, spadeandsparrows.com.
You might as well just keep filling me up.
Yeah,
then.
I will. I have. Is it cold? Is it cold enough? I tackily put an ice cube in it.
It's really good, Kaitlyn.
We all know I'm trying to constantly give Pinot and Ramen the best of the best. Good food, fun toys, all the care they deserve. But honestly, between busy days and everything else, sometimes remembering to reorder their food or their meds, sometimes it slips my mind. And that is why I love Chewy. They have everything I need for Pinot and Rami's. I can't say his name normal. It has to be Mr. Pinot's Rami's. And it shows up fast. They're just always so well fed. It's free and happy. Plus, it makes me feel like the dog mom I want to be and always dreamt of, you know? Chewy has over 100,000 products from all the top pet brands. So whether it's food, treats, beds, or toys, everything gets delivered right to your door in, get a load of this, 1 or 2 days. And it's not just dogs. They carry supplies for birds. I'm not going to yuck your yum. Fish, reptiles, and small pets too. So with summer coming up, flea and ticks become a real problem. Even indoor dogs can get them, and Chewy carries a huge selection of vet-recommended flea and tick meds, plus prescription meds. I always just recommend doing full research, telehealth vet visits, which I love using, pet insurance, and they're expanding in-person vet clinics nationwide. So Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/vine. That's chewy.com/vine to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/vine. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details.
I did want to talk about a few of your standout moments from the season. Obviously, the sex ed group date.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the moment that America went to you, because it was with children. You handled it in such an amazing way. Now, did you know they were child actors? Did I ever tell you that?
Or afterwards you told us. I didn't know they were at the time.
But watching back, like, did you already know? Like, did I tell you before it aired?
Before it aired, yes. You told us, or somebody had told me like after the date was done, that those are child actors, because I think it was because I was like in an ITM and I was like, hey, this is wrong what we just did. Yeah. Like you just asked a bunch of idiots to teach them about sex.
Yeah.
Like this is a very important topic, like that can be easily like one wrong word being used at the wrong time could mess them up in some way.
There was some weird shit that came out of people's mouths.
Yes. So I was like, this was not okay, guys. And they're like, they're actors. They're fine. I'm like, oh, all right, we're good.
Still weird, though.
Still weird.
Because those kids are still kids hearing like Josh Albert's calling a tampon like a rip cord. And like the way he was explaining, like, I don't know, but that date was so funny. But I remember specifically, like, you could even see it in my body language when you were doing it. I like... Because it was so, you handled it so well. Are you big into sex education? Are you prepared to have the birds and bees conversation with Winnie?
Yeah. Am I big into sex ed? Yes. I mean, I studied it in college.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it was like very much up my alley and like very much. So my dream.
That's why they put you on that date.
Yes.
That's why they made that date.
In church, like teach sex ed in churches, because I felt like at the time churches were doing such a bad job at teaching kids about like sex and like
that was
the beauty of it. And so I really wanted to do that for a living. Wild, that's not really a niche market. No. Like, nobody's really looking for that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I had all this like hope. And so I'd like studied in college and thought about ways I would tell kids about this. And so it was like right down my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I again got very lucky and fell into a very perfect date in a very perfect environment.
Well, the whole time it was so hard for me because I'm laughing my ass off, and you guys are obviously taking it seriously because you don't want to these kids.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there knowing the whole time that that's what was going on, and I obviously love a prank, but I was evil laughing during it because it was so funny to me to have you guys go up there. And so I can't remember who's the guy. Oh God, what was his name? Jonathan.
Yeah.
First of all, so good looking.
Yeah.
I was watching back being
Man.
he is really a good looking guy. But he went up there and he was just dying and mortified. And Josh was beat red and didn't know how to. Well, obviously, Josh was the love virgin who wanted me to cut his hair and didn't know how to talk about he called them tampons.
Tampons. Those darn tampons.
Those tampons.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what we did that night for the after party. Do you remember?
It probably was the Los Angeles hotel where we went.
Oh, the outdoor space where there's a pool. Yeah. Did I give you the group date rose?
I don't know. I don't remember. I have all my roses still.
Okay, so you have all the do you have your roses from The Bachelor too?
No, because I don't get roses on The
Oh,
Bachelor. Yeah, I'm the one giving
you
them out.
dumbass.
Yeah. But I have all the roses still in a jar in my office from the time on the show.
That's so cool. I'm so mad I never thought to keep well, I have one right there.
They all look like that now. I should have brought them, and you
Do
could
they
have
still
kept
have the
them.
magnets on it?
Yeah.
What do you
They
mean? You
still
don't want to
work.
keep them anymore?
No, I would love to keep them, Kaitlyn, but I just feel like they
Here,
could be
take the whole jar. I don't
yeah,
care.
Yeah, you want my moldy jar of roses? This would be such a sweet gift from me to you.
The one-on-one in San Antonio when we went to that red in that red Ford old truck.
Yeah.
And we got to go line dancing. Okay, that was one of the most fun dates to watch back. We had so much fun on that date.
Yeah. I mean, even being the Bachelor, I think there's dates that you just feel like you check a box and you're like, I got to go do this. I felt like on the Bachelorette, maybe I'm just naive. We had a few dates that you and I did specifically that actually were really fun for me. That was one of them.
We ran into your friend.
Yeah, randomly. He was there with his family, not set up by the show. And the show was panicking, wait, do we bring them in or not?
Yeah.
But I that date. So I went back there the next year just for fun because I had such good memories at that hall. I think it's such a great hall, Green Hall.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. It's so much.
Did you see our initials on the thing?
It's so much up my alley. I asked for the old man who we met that day.
No, did he pass?
Well, I don't know by now. It's been 10 years,
probably,
Kaitlyn.
yeah. I thought you meant when you went back, though. Remember the little old lady who...
He was still there when I was there. But it was I had such a good time there that I was I want to go back to that spot because I had such a good time there.
That's cool.
Ireland. I want my family to go to Ireland so bad now because I was I had such a fun time in Ireland. Now, thanks to you and Sean and Nick, I had 2 weeks free to travel the country while you guys fought your way through the country. And I just got to go stay in hotels and hang out.
They let you do that?
Oh, I had the best time. I have great pictures from all these little towns that we would go to pubs and just chill because you guys couldn't figure your stuff out.
Oh, yeah, because they can't send the third person home directly yet. That must be nice. Do you know what I had to do when I got sent home third? Brokenhearted. I had to go sit in a snowed-in cabin in Iowa and couldn't leave.
It sounds like a great time for a book and a fire. I got to travel Ireland.
Cool.
So I had a blast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I want to go back to Ireland. I think I have more. I love my time as the Bachelor.
Yeah.
I had better memories being on the Bachelorette because I had so much more fun. I was so stressed out on the other side.
Totally get that.
But enjoyability, I loved the Bachelorette.
Yeah, it's cool because I always said this too. When you become the lead, you have so much more empathy for the last lead.
Yeah.
So with Chris Soules, I was like, that mother blindsided me so hard. How could he do that to me? And then I had to blindside you, and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was an after show for your season.
Yeah.
And then Sean and I came on the after show, and you looked at me and you were like, I have so much more compassion for you now. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just this thing that nobody will ever understand until they go through it. But that's crazy that you got to hang out and travel Europe while I couldn't figure it out.
On somebody else's dime. It's really nice of you. I appreciate it.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I wish I could have stayed in Bali and Chris Soules season. I had to go to Iowa. That's crazy. I was convinced they were putting me back in Iowa because he was going to think he made a mistake and that I was going to be walking the streets of Iowa and he was going to run into me and be like, I want you back. Delusional little silly Kaitlyn. I'm trying to remember the lady's name from the dance hall. But she was 90 and just absolutely killing it out there. That was, God, what was her name? It was Mary Beth or something funny like that. But it was really cool because it felt like it was such a good, you do all these extravagant dates, but we got to like hang out with these older people who were just like dancing and in the moment and two-stepping. And this was like their weekends. Like, I don't know. It felt so like we stepped back in time.
But yeah. And it felt like we were back into the world.
Yeah.
So that was like a big deal, right?
Point.
So many of these dates are so isolated.
People,
Like people walk in the park that aren't a part of the show.
Yeah.
Running into my buddy,
that was crazy.
like they just felt like we were back in the world having a real date.
And he was like your good buddy.
Oh, he started generous with me. The coffee company.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's like
Wasn't
my
he
best
your,
friend in
like,
the world.
business partner?
Yeah, like H&A, Humanity and Hope.
Do you think he Googled where we were and found out from Reality Steve and went?
I really don't think he did. I'll have to ask him.
I think he'd tell you if he did that.
Yeah, but he lives right there. And so like I don't think this is an uncommon place for them. And then I think they showed up and they're like, there's a camera and who's on the date? And they're like, Ben's on the date. And he's like, oh my gosh, like let me go see Ben.
I remember being so excited because I was like, I'm meeting one of your good friends. This is so like out of
on our first date together.
Yeah, that doesn't happen on this show.
Yeah.
Like, I get to meet one of your friends. Everything's such a big deal on that show when it's like a sense of normalcy. It's such a big deal.
Yeah, it was such a it's such an elevated environment.
Yeah.
Especially in moments like that when you have people around. And when you're having a lot of fun. I mean, we were like drinking beer, dancing.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard
To not have fun.
Yeah. When you're like doing something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I was just having fun, which is not
You were
common
nervous
for me.
at first.
Super nervous.
Because I think you really wanted to be a good dancer for me, but then you realized how much fun it was and then you just let go.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like it's hard for me to have fun on that show.
Yeah.
Because I'm always in my own head.
Yeah.
And there's moments where I'm like, okay, this is like just life. And like that was one of those.
Totally.
Okay, so I have turned into a hot sleeper over the years, especially in the summer. It's probably just from living in Nashville, but some people just run hot. And with two furry little bed hogs stealing the covers, it can really feel like a sauna at night. And that is why I switched to Boll & Branch Percale sheets. Made from the finest 100% organic cotton, they have this crisp, breathable weave that keeps me cool all night long. No more flipping the sheets, looking for the cool side, or waking up in sweats. Ugh, sweating the bed is no joke. Plus, they come with a 30-night worry-free guarantee, so you can try them without any pressure. Now, what I love most about Boll & Branch is that they don't just focus on comfort. They're ethically made by artisans who earn fair wages. So you're getting quality sheets that feel amazing and that you can feel good about too. So since switching, my sleep has, honestly, it's improved. So even when my pups are sprawled across the bed, I stay cool and comfy all night long. I would be uncomfortable all night long for them anyways, but it's better to be comfortable. So get the best savings of the season during Boll & Branch's annual summer event. Get 20% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/vine20. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/vine to save 20% and unlock free shipping. Limited time only. Exclusions apply.
The ultimate grown-up summer camp is officially coming to Destin, Florida, September 26th to 28th, and it's called Lady World. Headliners include Hannah Berner, comedian and star of Giggly Squad, Stassi Schroeder, Lady Gang, Girls Gotta Eat, Chicks in the Office, Justin Sylvester, Rachel Lindsay, Kaitlyn, Bristowe, and so many more, plus music from The Maine and Pop 2K members of NSYNC, BB Mac, O-Town, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, Ryan Cabrera. Ugh, it's just our dream lineup. 3 days of activities, 3 nights of shows, all for $300. Tickets are available now at ladyworld.co. That's Ladyworld, LADY, world.co. But hurry up because they are really going fast. Lady World, presented by Elf Cosmetics, takes over Destin this September.
The night in San Antonio.
What was that?
The night of our date.
What? Tell me more. Oh, the dip?
No.
Oh, what? Why am I blanking?
So we had
I just rewatched. I'll remember as soon as you
it's
say
not on
it.
TV.
Yeah. What is it?
So we had this amazing day, Kaitlyn, and you can take this out if you'd like to.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you want to, probably.
Oh no. Is it embarrassing for me?
No.
Oh.
So we have this amazing date. And this, like, I have a little bit of a revisionist history, but I'm laying in bed in the same room as Sean, and you sneak in and jump in bed with Sean.
Oh, that was that night?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was that same night.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, oh, she's coming to see me. And the show comes to me because I'm in Ireland. And I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to go home. Not because I'm mad at Kaitlyn, but like, I don't belong here. Like, I'm going home this week
this
anyways.
breaks my heart. Yeah.
No. And then remember they had you have a conversation
Yes,
with me like,
and
hey, stick around.
Yeah.
I made a mistake and all this stuff. And so I stuck around. You saved it.
I still to this day, that is my regret, is sneaking out that night. One, I was very drunk.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
That's how every good story starts. Keep going.
I thought, oh, we're all hanging out and like he's now rubbing my back. So this is weird.
Yeah. I don't know how. I mean, I remember it being such a big moment for me because I was ready to go home and I was like, I don't belong here anymore. And then I think it's the moment that I had a hint that, hey, like, no matter what, we have bigger plans for you.
Yeah.
Because they had said, please don't go home. We really need you to stay.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn really wants you to stay.
Which I did.
Thank you.
I promise you and everything.
And then that's when you and I had the conversation and you're like, hey, just please stay. And I was like, I can stick it out. I also remember like that being a breakthrough for me because I was like kind of a breath of fresh air. Like I have now some validation.
Yeah.
That like I didn't have before on like, at least I'm going to be here for a couple weeks in Ireland. It's something that I think is one of the most awkward moments I've ever been in my life. And at the time being so like in the bath, I remember sitting on the floor in that bathroom being like, what is happening out there? This is weird. I don't think this is good.
Oh no.
But now it's like, this is like, it has become very like comedic and like how funny is that? That like you come prancing in, we're so excited. You like just picture this in your mind for anybody listening to this is like I'm in a twin bed, he's in a queen next to me. Kaitlyn out of nowhere comes trotting in. She jumps in bed with Sean, and I'm like, all right, that's weird, but like I'm sure I'll get my time too. like
it was a group date. Like I was going to leave the queen to come into your twin.
And then all of a sudden, like I do notice like the sheets are moving in a way that's not like there's something happening. So I'm like,
wasn't like that though.
That's fine, but that's how I'm perceiving it. So I'm like, I'm going to leave them because
you thought it was sexual?
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm like, well, they're like, this is obviously a date that I'm not. There's not a date I'm invited to, and it's in my room that I was sleeping in. So I go to the bathroom and sit on the floor, and then, like an hour later, I come out because they're waking us all up to catch a flight to Ireland.
And I was under a blanket in the corner hiding.
And we had thrown a blanket over you while the producers came in to like check on us in the morning, and you hid under the blanket. Because I think at that point they were probably looking for you.
Yeah, probably.
And you're in the blanket in the corner of our room.
Yeah.
And we're all now packing up and getting ready to go.
This is so crazy.
I'm glad we brought this up though, because I did not rat you out. I did not say a word. And I want to be clear, I will stand by that. And they will stand by that now. Is I never said a word about this.
10 years I've thought that you told on me.
Yeah.
I honestly thought you did. And then I felt so terrible. But now I'm learning that you thought more went on that actually did in that bed. Or you felt it at the time.
I felt it at the time.
Which it wasn't. But I did, however, tell him in that moment, you're the one.
Yeah.
Which that is, of all the times in the show, that is my biggest regret.
Yeah, because he had that like in his mind.
Yeah,
and the rest
that
of the
was
time.
terrible of me to do. I was being stupid.
Yeah, you had a lot to drink. You're having a good time. You're getting your back rubbed. Yeah.
Oh, God. That is my biggest regret. Not anything else. There's a lot that I could regret. That is and I mean that. That's my biggest regret is coming down there in that moment because I really screwed things up. We've always remained friends. And like you always will shoot it to me straight, good or bad. And you've always been honest with me. And I believe you. I just can't believe that hasn't come up till right now.
Yeah, I can't either, Kaitlyn. This is good for us.
Oh, this is so good. I was like, this is therapeutic.
It is. It's very nice. And I needed it. You needed it. We're good now.
Wow. Okay, moving on. I also rewatching our horseback date. I was like, we're just horseback. What? You don't remember this? Chip and I forget your
Was it in Ireland?
Name. Yeah.
Okay.
And
oh, yeah, I do. Up to the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got chased by donkeys.
Yeah. I do remember this.
I thought because my horse kept like pulling me forward to eat the grass. And so but it made it look like we both really knew what we were doing on the date.
Really?
Yeah. Like we looked like we just knew how
like
to.
a stud?
Yeah.
See, that's big for me. I needed it.
You got up there so easily. You helped me up on mine.
Yeah.
We were just trotting through the what do they call it? Of
Grass.
Ireland. Yes, but the countryside.
The countryside.
The countryside.
Yes.
We were just trotting through the countryside of Ireland on these beautiful horses, but it was so much more dramatic than they made it show because I couldn't get my horse to move. But we looked like we knew what we were doing. And then the backdrop looked like AI, which was back to the castle that we ruined.
Yeah.
But the feeding the donkeys, do you remember that?
I do remember all this now. Yes, you had to remind me. It was the same day of our overnight,
Yes.
which now makes sense to me. Yeah.
And I was laughing watching it back because I was like, on TV, I was like, why are the donkeys chasing us as we're like running with buckets of food? Like, of course they're chasing us. They want their food. And we're like, and you're like, drop the bucket, drop the bucket. And I like dropped it and we kept running. It was actually so funny. We rowed a boat that day.
Yeah. It was a very romantic day.
It was a very romantic, and like the setting was insane.
Yeah.
It literally looked fake. When I did send you home, did you know that was coming? Or did you think, because I called Nick first.
Yeah.
So it was between you and Sean, which I thought was crazy.
I've always had this idea. I think ever since really that moment, I always knew you and Sean were going to end up together.
You did?
So in my mind, I always had this. And if you remember our fantasy suite date, like that evening, I was asking you a lot of questions. And like, it was more and more obvious through the questions being asked that like the Sean and Nick thing, I think you even told me like, I don't know what I'm going to do because they take up so much of my focus.
Yeah.
And then you asked me a question that night. You said, what do you think about like the two of them?
Yeah.
Like, who would you choose? And I remember being like, yes. And I was like, that's a very weird question to ask me.
Yeah.
Because if it was me, you wouldn't care who you were going to choose out of them.
But I was so desperate for any answers.
I get it. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a shock to me. I think it was more of I read the situation correctly. Like I walked into it being like, either they've blown this thing up so much that they've ruined this with Kaitlyn.
Yeah.
But then that's not exactly a spot I want to sit in where I'm like the guy that fills the gap of like them ruining it.
I remember you even saying to me, I was like, what's going on with them? Like, and you were like, are we really going to talk about them? And I was like, oh yeah, just kidding.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But seriously, can you
stupid.
answer me? Because I'm freaking out right now and I need you to answer me, Ben.
And like, I specifically, it's so weird unlocking so many memories and knocking on the window, and you're in your little capri sweatpants and you have your backpack on and you were walking, and I knocked being like, I hope he sees me. Yeah. And you looked up and I was like, ah.
And then you mooned me.
I did?
Yeah. Kaitlyn, how do you not remember this? You stuck your butt cheeks against the window.
Are you being funny?
No.
I mooned you?
You mooned me.
God, I am such a grown adult woman. Are you kidding? I remember thinking mooning was so funny at that phase of my life because I always used to moon my family. They'd be like, Kaitlyn, like, don't. And I thought mooning was so funny. I did it to
funny.
you?
Yeah, walking out. Like, I was like sad walking around the lake, like, oh, it's over. And then you're like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring back mooning.
Yeah.
I'm blushing. I'm like blushing because
wouldn't.
I'm like, I stuck my. Were you like, I'm turned off?
No, because I was like, this is hilarious.
Can't believe I mooned.
Yeah. And like, I was looking for any sense of validation at that point. And like,
Should have flashed you.
yeah.
I mooned you.
Yeah.
No,
At
I'm
least
dead.
I had a free treat as I flew home from Ireland.
Do you still remember my butt cheeks pressed against the glass? That's
Not
not
well.
cute.
No, it's not like a thing that you are like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, what? That's like a Dumb and Dumber move. Like, that's not cute. Why would I do that?
It was exactly what we needed at the time. It was like more of like a, hey, Ben, peace out. Like, we'll see you on the other side. 10 years later, we're going to sit down and have a conversation about this. And you're going to act like you don't remember it. And I'm going to remember it still. And we're going to laugh because life moves on.
Let's move on to life moving on. Actually, just one quick question about you being the Bachelor.
Okay.
What is something people still get wrong about you from the Bachelor, Bachelorette?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably a lot. I think, you mentioned it, like the perfect Ben thing was hard for me because it felt like I was living up to a standard that I wasn't going to be able to like.
That no one could?
Nobody could.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I still can't handle that I mooned you.
Yeah. Okay.
I just need a second.
You got to remember this.
I mooned you?
Mm-hmm. It's special.
Okay. I can't deal. Okay.
That's my Bachelorette.
Yeah. See those pressed up ass cheeks on the glass? Those are mine.
Her.
Oh my God, how embarrassing.
America's sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, right. The last thing I was. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I think that was a big deal. I think I would like to believe that I am less bland than what the show showed me to be.
I've always told people that about you.
Yeah. I mean, because it like was such a characterization of me was like, he's so bland, he's so boring. And like that really affected me because at some level, yes, I am. Like at some level, I own the fact that I love being a husband, I love being a dad, and I love sitting at home at night.
That's not boring, that's sweet.
And, well, thank you. But like I really enjoy that, and that's like the highlight of my world.
Yeah.
But I think back then in like my mid-20s, I was like, I don't want people to keep thinking I'm boring. That's like that's a big detriment to me personally. And maybe I am. And that's like affecting me. Other than that, I mean, I really had a great experience on this show. It's done so much good for me. I don't have much association with the show anymore. Yeah. but it's opened up a whole new career path. It's opened up a whole new friend group, opened up a whole new like lane for me to create. And I'm so thankful for, you know, your like time as the Bachelorette and then my time as the Bachelor.
Yeah.
It's made my life so much richer.
Yeah.
That I really am like, look back and I'm like, I'm just glad it happened.
That's nice. I'm also in that place too. I was angry for a while, but I'm also in that place. And then I remembered this the other day that I totally forgot. Somebody was like, "Oh, you know what I loved was Ben and Lauren's reality show."
Oh goodness,
I forgot
they
you
were one
guys
of 5
did
people
that.
to watch it. Yeah.
Was it? Did it not do well?
I don't really know what it did. They asked for a season 2. We were broken up, so it was going to be awkward.
Oh,
yeah, we did it. Yeah,
I thought it did really well. I just had forgotten about it.
It did well enough that it was the first time they've done that. It was a big strain on both of us, like personally, and then also our relationship. But personally, it was a big strain. I lived in a 700 square foot house, and that they filmed out of for 40 straight days. Like it was brutal.
Didn't you have an option? Like, weren't they like, you can do Dancing with the Stars or do this?
No. It's wild moments for me. Dancing with the Stars was taken away from me for this. This is a whole big, okay. I will say as much as I can say that nobody asks me about because nobody knows about this side of this time.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was the Bachelor, I had and even when I was younger, I had a lot of involvement in within my community. And I always had talked, I dream one day of being actively involved in my community from like either a political level or some type of involvement or volunteering levels, just like, and so the show afterwards said, "Hey, we think you should run for office." I don't know if you remember this.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember mooning you, but I do remember the politics.
Yeah. The good parts. And and so they're like, "We're going to create a show about you running for office and we'll help fund the whole thing." And I was like, wow, what an opportunity. This is such a big expense and such a tough thing to fundraise for. So I went through it. I got my name on the ballot. This was like, the state of politics looked a lot different back then. I want to be clear that like it wasn't so divisive when I was running. Got my name on the ballot, and then the show couldn't do it because they'd have to show anybody that was running against me equal amounts of time legally when it comes to a political campaign. So that's when they
didn't think that
ripped it from me and said you can either still run for office and film a show, or you can film a show and drop out of the race. So I dropped out of the race. And we were already under contract for a television show. So that's where Ben and Lauren came in. This was not supposed to be Ben and Lauren.
Real creative on the name, guys.
Yeah. Well, it literally was a week that they had to like switch gears here and say, no longer a docuseries about Ben running for office. It's now going to be Ben and Lauren Happily Ever After.
Oh, yeah, Happily Ever After.
Massive mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did it. It wasn't good.
No.
It was really bad for us. You can watch the drama play out. It was never healthy, never fun.
Yeah.
Neither of us enjoyed it. And
I can't even imagine like coming out and having to jump into another like filming opportunity of being produced is so hard. But with all that being said, none of these turns in your life you would have taken, you would not have Winnie.
Oh, I like.
I'm not saying you don't see that.
No, I know you're not saying that. I literally, like, my wife and I talk about it. My prayers at night, like all of this has somehow, and like Jess has heard me say this so many times, I don't know how I did it. Like, I don't know how I got here. But like, there's moments when Jess is sitting on the floor with my daughter and I'm like, it worked.
Yeah.
And like, I tried everything to not get to this point. Like, I tried everything to mess this thing up to where I wouldn't have a wife that's so beautiful,
she's
so
perfect.
pure of heart, so loving of me, so loving of our daughter, a daughter who's like the biggest joy when I like see her smile or laugh or like giggle or whatever. And I've tried everything. Yeah. Against maybe popular like opinion to mess that up. Yeah. And I somehow got here, and I say prayers of gratitude nightly. Like, thank you for somehow making this work because it's the best thing ever. But at the same time, to your question, no, I would never take it back. I confidently talk about it. Like, it's so exciting and so fun for me to come back here and talk to you and be like, do you remember this date? Yeah. Do you remember this conversation? Do you remember asking me this question? Like, I had so much fun with you, Kaitlyn. This was such a great experience that built me up to be a better man today.
And such a testament to like you and Jess and your relationship too, to be able to like, you know, do that and talk about that, and then you get to go home to your daughter and wife, and like I've met Jess a few times. Leave out.
Like, well, we don't talk about everything.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I've met Jess a few times, and I'm just like, baffled by her sweetness.
She is that way to me. She's that way at night. Like I have this like angel of girls in my life.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 girls that are like, you are built different. For everything I've done wrong, they've done right. And Jess, yes, you've met her, and what you read on her is who she is. I love her dearly.
She's such a pure soul, but you are too. And like, I don't know. I just like look at you and your family and I'm like, what am I doing? Because I love what I do. I'm supposed to be doing everything is supposed to be the way it is. But I'm like, what am I chasing? I love podcasting. I can still do that if I settle down and have a baby. Like I keep having this idea in my head of like how scary it all is. Yeah. But I know that when the timing is right, I'm going to do that same thing. Like I did it. I got here and it all is supposed to happen the way that it's supposed to happen.
There was for me though, and she knows this, like I was nervous about getting married because I was making my money being the single bachelor guy.
Yeah.
And even up until the year that we met, the Bachelorette asked me to come back for a second attempt. And I was like, I can't do this again. That sounds mostly because I've gone to bed at 9 o'clock.
How did Brad Womack do that?
I don't know.
He did it twice. I'm like, nope.
So you're right. And it was, I think for me, it was scary to give up that like single title.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I ever did, but it is a divorcing of this image that now we've lived in for so long of you are known for being single. You are known for dating. You are known for messing the world up and like trying to figure this whole thing out. And once you divorce from that though, it's freeing.
Yeah.
And it's not as big a change as you expect it to be.
I think more of the right doors would open for me if I just surrendered to it a little more.
Yeah. And I think that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah.
I also think like for you and I both, we've lived much of our lives single. You get very used to it. You get very comfortable in it. You start to feel like, hey, I don't desire, or I still desire, but I don't need. But if that desire is still there, goodness, like it's in front of you and you just have to surrender to it and say, I'm willing to walk into this and I'm going to see what the next stage looks like.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, caverns of your heart, worlds open up.
Yeah.
Everything changes in the most beautiful way.
Because you probably have a whole different perspective on life too.
Yes. And a different kind of comfort of knowing that like when I leave here, I get to go home to my wife.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like eat with her and we'll be in bed at 9 o'clock watching a movie.
Yeah.
And I get to hold my daughter and I get to look at her for 2 hours in the middle of the day that I'm like, could have been working, you know?
Yeah.
But instead I'm just looking at her and it's so much better and it's so much more valuable.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you're in it, you'll never take it back.
God. Somebody have sex with me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone. No, I'm just kidding. I always ruin a beautiful moment with a bad joke. It's just so cool because I guess I just know you, like, and now I know Jess, and now I just see what you guys have, and I'm like, I'm just so happy for you both. And I'm just so happy for like everything that has led you to where you are and how you've remained so true to yourself through like there's a lot of people in this world, as you know, that this stuff changes them or they go different directions. But like, I look at you as someone that's like, you don't care as much about the Instagram and like you enjoy certain things and you enjoy your jobs that you get out of it and but you don't like focus on that. Yeah. And I like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, in 2023, my word was content. I want to be content. I want to learn how to be content. Mm-hmm. This year it's self-trust. And I think you're right. I thought about that too when I was coming here today. I was like, I wonder what kind of questions. I don't get interviewed a lot anymore. Yeah. I interview a lot, but I don't get interviewed a lot. The fame world is such a small piece of my life to really not a piece at all. And I was like, why is that? And was that a choice by me, or was that just because of how this spit me out? I didn't do Dancing with the Stars. Right. And so like there wasn't the longevity. And I think a lot of that is because, one, it was the natural progression for me. Two, it honestly at some point made me very unhealthy. And I had to give it up. The more I pursued being relevant, the more I pursued trying to stay in the spotlight, the less healthy I became personally, and the less healthy I became to my friends and my family. Yep. And I noticed it. And I also had a group of like friends who called me out on it. And so I had to make the choice to say, this is going to be a piece. Yeah. It is not going to be the focus. Yeah. And as a result, like there has been incredible, like, you know, we still put food on the table. Yeah. Like we still have things happening. But me being in the spotlight was not a healthy path for me to be the best husband and best man to my wife. And so I had to kind of say, no, I'm moving forward, which was not easy, Kaitlyn.
No.
But I'm so happy that it did.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that it did.
Because it's just such a different beast of, I mean, it's any job that you get yourself wrapped up in and go down the wrong path or whatever. But I try and do a good job of not like chasing it so hard, but like enjoying what I have. But I have to check myself a lot of times.
Yeah.
And other people have checked me too. But it's like, I think the more you see other people do it too, the more you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like that's, you see people lose themselves. And I'm like, I've done that already.
Well, and you've built something so beautiful that you are now not having to chase as much as you get to build.
Yeah.
You had to chase for a while,
Yeah,
I'm
I did.
sure. But once you build this thing where there's a sign behind you with your brand on it, and you have a whole freaking room full of your rosé and wine,
And my doggies.
and your doggies, like you now get to build, and that's a great spot to get into.
Yeah.
But be content and be happy for this because you've done well too. You've done really well.
Thank you. Right back at you. I knew this was going to be just such a nice little therapeutic session between us.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm so grateful that you came, and grateful for Jess that she's like, go, and like sending videos of Winnie, and like it's so all just so special, and it's so cool to see where everybody's at. And obviously we've remained friends over all these years, so it's so cool to just have you and talk. Even though you just said like you've never been really interviewed, I'm like, I want to do a whole other podcast not Bachelor related with questions for you.
Yeah.
So at some point down the road, maybe 3 years.
Yeah, give us time once, like, people are like, oh, that guy.
Yeah,
you want to hear from him again.
Well, wait, are you still doing your generous coffee?
Yeah, Generous Coffee is going so well.
Good.
We celebrate a year this weekend in Warsaw, Indiana, of having a
cool.
roastery open. We've had the business for 7 years, but
Yeah,
we have a
yeah,
roastery, and it's the coolest spot. We have people that come over from the jail that's across the street for their next step counseling. We have people
What?
of all
That's so
certain
cool.
abilities working in there now, so it's like a really fun space. Super cool. So it's a huge part of my life and focus, and it's still very active.
That's awesome. And people can order it online, right?
Yeah, generouscoffee.com. Or come see us at the roastery. You'll love it.
I would absolutely love it. You should open one in Nashville.
Maybe one day, Kaitlyn.
Well, you will.
Yeah.
I'll be a barista for a day.
Yeah.
Get the people talking.
By then, you might need a job.
Yeah. It's in 5 years, I'm like calling him like, please open one. I'll open it with
pay me,
you.
Ben.
Please. I got canceled for mooning everybody on my podcast.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Wait. Anything else that you wanted to talk about that?
I think I really just came here excited to catch up with you, Kaitlyn. Generous is such a big deal to me. So go to generouscoffee.com, and we donate 100% of our profits to nonprofits. So I don't make money on it. So I have to find other ways to make a living because everything's donated. But that's like
what can people do to help?
Buy coffee. So much
Buy
coffee.
all the coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy some coffee after this.
Yeah. So that would be awesome.
Cool.
It is a passion project, and it's the dream that far beyond me, this company still exists, and it gives back to great organizations doing great
Really
work.
cool.